My Nana really loved her grandchildren. Of course, I wouldn't know what kind of a parent she was, but as grandmothers go, she couldn't have treated us any better. My brothers and sisters and I were the first grandchildren, and we lived the furthest away. We lived outside Chicago, and my grandparents lived outside Cleveland. When our cousins who lived in Ohio came along, we became known as the Chicago Bunch, and for 3 weeks each August, we stayed with Nana and Papa and experienced the good life. Each day started the same way. Before coming down to breakfast, you had to wash your face with a wake-up soap. Then brush your teeth, brush your hair, and get dressed. Nana always let us pick out any breakfast cereal we wanted, kinds we never got to eat at home. And with breakfast, she always served the sweetest, juiciest cantaloupe. No fruit I buy these days can begin to compare. Then we had to do a few chores before starting the day. We might have to do the dishes, run the sweeper, dust, or skim the pool. Yeah, she had my papa put in a pool in the backyard just for the grandkids. And we spent a lot of time in the pool. But some days we'd go bumming. That meant running errands, going shopping, maybe driving down to the valley or to Clegg Park to feed the ducks. We'd always be back in time to have dinner with my papa when he came home from work, and often other people from the family would be invited to join us. All the uncles and aunts and great-uncles and great-aunts and cousins and second cousins and great-grandma Coaster, all the relatives on my mom's side would be sure to come and see us when we were in town. Not only was Nana a fantastic cook, but she really knew how to entertain. She might cook a family favorite like city chicken or guamki, unless we were having a cookout in the backyard, and then we'd have barbecued ribs or steaks cooked on the grill. She'd prepare what we needed in the kitchen, and we kids would carry everything out on trays. Salads and sides, plates, napkins, and silverware, plus pitchers of lemonade, and usually a hollowed-out watermelon basket full of melon balls and other summer fruits. Cars would fill the driveway, and the rest parked on the street. Someone would go and pick up Grandma Coaster, and the party would begin. The grown-ups drank highballs and daiquiris, and Grandma Coaster might let one of us kids sneak a sip of her whiskey sour. After dinner, we would toast marshmallows over the grill and try to be patient enough to let the marshmallow brown, not blacken, before eating it. We would eat and talk and laugh into the night. Nana took such good care of us that even bedtime was memorable. When we were still young enough, my brothers and sisters and I would all sleep in one room, and Nana would have us get in our pajamas and climb into bed, and she'd open the windows and dim the light, and through the screen we could hear bugs humming outside, and she'd talk in a quiet voice and ask us about our day, and we'd start to yawn. And sometimes she'd even put powder on our feet and rub them to help us relax and cool off and gently fall to sleep. And before we knew it, the 3 weeks were up. We'd already gone to Zabo's for school shoes, and my mom's cousin Patsy had given us haircuts, and my dad was there, ready to take us back home. And all the songs we made up begging to stay, and all the pleading did no good, and we'd load up the car to leave. Of course, Nana always packed us travel bags of sandwiches and fruit and homemade cookies and wet washcloths and plastic baggies for our sticky hands. And we would drive down the street, and all the relatives who had gathered and some kids from the block would wave goodbye, and we'd cry and wave back until we turned the corner and were out of sight. Those were idyllic days, and my brothers and sisters and I speak of them often, and the older Ohio cousins remember them in the same way. We all know how special those times were, how special my Nana made them, how special she made us feel. In her honor, my oldest cousin Dan has his children call his mom Nana, and I understand why, and I think it's nice. But my son And my brothers and sisters' kids call my mom Grammy, because in our minds, there could only ever be one Nana.